Alright, hello, how's it going? Good evening, friends, how are you all? So let's see who is here. Harry Smallwood, hello. Rafalsar, hello, welcome. Prime, Druha, ODM, hello. 765, hello. Ewan, thanks for 12 months, thank you. Captain Mike, how's it going? Good evening. Malik, hello. It's been a bit. Reinfo, hello. How's it going? I would have been bringing Kiwi at the beginning of stream, as you do sometimes, but this is what he's up to. So you can see Kiwi is busy. Kiwi is busy being a sleepy boy. So hello, Yumi. So yeah, he's just sleeping. I can see him from here. Now he's a little bit more sideways than he is here. But yeah, he's sleeping right now. Are we getting more copies of these to share? Oh, maybe I should do something like that where I can give away some Polaroids with Kiwi or something. Some Instax rather of Kiwi. Maybe maybe for like a giveaway thing, I'll just like give out some Kiwi prints, photos. That'll be fun. Alright, so hope everybody's been doing well. It's a busy end of year, to be quite honest. I'm doing alright. I've been busy, to be frank. It's just been a little hectic, but doing okay. So yeah, so today we're gonna be building this this new board coming through Percent Studio as well as ClickClackIO. So the ClickClackIO is going to be the global vendor for the boards, but Percent Studio is the design team, you know, making the board. And yeah, it's called the PT, or the Platinum PT990. It's a 65% board actually. It's called 990, but it's a 65% board. And yeah, so first time I kind of get to see this. I literally just took it out of the box. Haven't done anything otherwise, and so I'm here gonna be finding out everything about it with you guys. We can also like check out the Keycaps thread if you want, but yeah, we'll take a look at this, build it up with these Gatex that I have right here, and go from there. But hello, nice mirror, thank you. To 40 more resins before 2023 ends. I don't think that's gonna be 40. That's a lot. Wait, no, that's not it. There you go. So looking at the Keycaps thread here, so it's a 65% board. Let's see. Talk about the Platinum series. Platinum is a very precious and rare metal. Okay, etc. But they basically want it to be a very like artistic sort of piece. Smooth and gentle lines, flat and sharply defined design. Okay. Basically something a bit more minimalistic with some curves and some details that kind of make it stand out. That's pretty much what they're going for, which is what a lot of keyboards really go for anyway. But let's see, we have PVD aluminum weights available in silver, gunmetal, and gold. There's also stainless steel PVD, stainless steel brushed and sandblasted copper as options. Inner structure, they're using this beryllium copper structure, which apparently basically these copper leaf spring tabs that sort of, you can see it sort of like holds the plate up with these little nubs. Yeah, so basically it uses that. You can use foam, of course, and yeah. So let's see, there are per switch slots for the PCB, but there's also non-flex cut PCB. I believe I have a non-flex cut today, but we'll have to find out when I open the box. Layout wise, it's pretty fixed because of the hot swap sockets, but I also don't know why they didn't do 7U here, but apparently it's a 625 fixed here with full backspace and ANSI. Looks like step caps is supported, but I mean, I am assuming that if they ever do solderable, they would have to support some other layouts, but it's a little odd to not offer 7U at this point in time. They have a bunch of the colorways here: classic, Casio, ice blue looks nice, gray, red, coffee, I guess it's like brown, grape is purple, blush, I think it's E-coat, and lake, which I think is also like E-coat, and milk, which I think it's also E-coat. Pricing wise, I believe they put it up on the ClickClackIO website. It starts at $415 US. And this is gonna be through ClickClackIO, and this is a bit pricey, but we'll find out if it's properly priced. But yeah, this is gonna be run on the 22nd, so that's 2 days from now, basically exactly 2 days minus an hour. But yeah, so let's check it out. Your F2 with your F2 with HMX sound test on YouTube is chef's kiss. Oh, thank you. I literally just published it. So thanks for the kind words. It's not my board, it's somebody else's. They just sent out what the board to build up, obviously. And yeah, so I just built it with the switches. They're stock actually, these HMX Macchiatos. And so yeah, sound pretty good. They're like a full travel switch, I think. So pretty good, pretty nice sounding switches. I was actually very pleasantly surprised by those. Obito, hello. Alright, so opening up the box, we got this very intricately printed thingy. Just kind of a cover actually. And then you open this up and you get a PCB, and nice, we got a non-flex cut PCB here. It has all the markings for the traces, but it's not actually flex cut, it seems. Let's take it out of the bag. Roro, hello. How's it going? So, opening it up, here we have our non-flex cut PCB, 625U fixed indeed. Bit of a shame, I do prefer 7U. Step caps lock. It does have an indicator light for the caps lock, which is kind of cool. Fixed ANSI for everything else though. Shift, backspace, and enter. No split backspace, a bit surprising as well. But it is a choice I made, I guess. Well, PCB looks nice though. Has these nice Kale hot swap sockets. But yeah, I mean, it looks pretty. Looks to be... Oh, is this a thin PCB? I'm not sure. I may have to get shims today. I'm not sure though. We'll see. We have an aluminum plate. Looks like this one is gray. Oh, Mr. Alex. Rating with a party of 258. I just started. This is crazy. Hi Alex. What were you up to? Alex, hello. Exclamation earphones. I'm using these IEMs. These are Moondrop variations, if you're curious. Damn. Alex is rating your ass. Look, Jealous, look at the deep space. Oh, Koopa is joining me, Odium, and Pogert in having a camo Philco. Oh, sweet. Welcome to the Philco fam. Perfect timing, though. Hey, welcome, everybody. Exclamation point and time. Okay. As if we had that command. Anyway, interesting for the play to have all this ISO and 7U support, but the actual board PCB doesn't have the 7U and ISO support and just split backspace support, for example. I'm assuming they might do a release of these PCBs, maybe in solderable version that has all the compat, but at least this hot swap one doesn't. But for this particular release, they don't have. The default PCB is 625 only. Anyway, Alex, welcome. How are you, man? What do you do today for your stream? What are you up to, if you're still here? If not, it's okay. He may have left because he's a busy man, alright. Yo, Rex. Okay. Violet Auntie, hello. Do you know why Cherry Keyset stopped using the R5 bottom row? It probably was a tooling thing. So I'll give you an educated guess about why. Mainly it had to do with the transition from Win keyless to Win key. They could have gone the route of doing Win key with a 7U spacebar and like 1.5U modifiers and 1U, right? But doing a 625 bottom row layout actually makes things easier because you're using 1.25U modifiers all around the spacebar, right? So it's the same mold. So it kind of makes it a little bit cheaper to produce fewer variations in size. And I assume that when they did that, they did not make, like Cherry at the time, did not ever make R5 1.25U molds. Those only exist now because of GMK Carbon Round 2. Tom Berry worked with GMK to make those 1.25U R5 profile molds. Before that, they did not exist. We've only had 1Us and 1.5s and the numpad enter at most. Okay, and so that's that. I'm assuming it was initially a Cherry motivated, like Cherry's motivation to move to Win key because, you know, Windows started to exist instead of like the IBM based Win keyless layout. And then, you know, as keyboards became more like common and, you know, cheaper, it was the move to make things cheaper. And so it probably was a cost-effective solution to not make R5 molds. Perhaps it was probably an executive choice that was made back then, and then when GMK inherited those molds, like they bought out the molds from Cherry, they kind of kept it as such, and it was like 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 for the row profile, and row 5 was not a thing until much later, for like wide compatibility at least. Probably. The default PCB is 1.2mm with insane flex cuts, but the space is totally enough to feel free to switch to 1.6mm no flex cut PCB. The DB need to replace though. What was this we're talking about? DB? Oh. This? I see. But yeah, it's probably because of cost. I think that's my educated guess. It's not a fact. I think that's my guess from the perspective of computers and keyboards becoming more common and cheaper over time, and Microsoft kind of taking over this big OS movement with Windows, or MS-DOS and then Windows, right? And the Win key becoming a ubiquitous thing on keyboards. I'm assuming it had to be cheaper and cheaper, and so that was probably a decision made back then. All right. So, was there R0 for the F-Row? Yeah, there was. There is an R0 for the F-Row. Back in the Cherry days. But even within, like, in the Cherry days, R0 was rare. Like, it's only present in a very few boards. Very, very few. They have hundreds of different boards in their catalog, and the R0 was present in very, very few. Like, you could name them, and they're barely a handful. And so R0 is a rarity. It's not a common thing. And like, you could say that the canonical form of cherry profile is 1 1 2 3 4 5 for the Win keyless era, and then 1 1 2 3 4 4 for the Win key era. There are some exceptions, like there's the terminal boards that go into like the server racks. Those had flat profiles, so they, like a lot of, I assume these server rack companies would commission them with like RØDE 2s and RØDE 3s, which are pretty flat. And then there's exceptions like RØDE 0, which are only on certain terminal boards. But yeah. Okay, this comes with some kind of card, which doesn't really have much of substance other than it being sort of like pressed. Has a nice texture to it. It says platinum, like the logo. But nothing too special here. Oh, we have shims. Nice. So it looks like it is 1.2. We have the little gasket thingies for the beryllium copper system that they use, the little leaf spring tabs. We have some screws, I assuming for standoffs for the hot swap. We have bump-ons and some extra screws. And then, oh yes, here we have our foam pieces, of course. Nice JNT1, thanks. Basically, a nice Mech 27. Hi, may I request a tour of your novelties? If that, by that you're talking about the, are you talking about the keyboard or are you talking about the artisans? If it's the artisans, you can take a look. Here are some from Prime Caps here, Latrialum, some more Prime Caps, some cat hair, excuse the cat hair, that's from Maison of the West, Prime Caps, BG Caps, Hammerworks Studio, Aussie Keycaps, Moist Caps, Fractal Caps. Then we got some more Prime Caps, Rubber Hose, a bunch of Night Caps, Moon Blanks. And then here we have some Panda Caps, Night Caps, Ink Block Caps, CYSM, Prime Caps, Switz Caps, Fractal, CYSM, Aussie, Fractal, Golden Star, Keycap, GSK, Myth Caps, Inkblot, Art Key, Rubber Hose, more Prime Caps and Bogan collab, and Art Key and DC Caps collab for the EXO boys. And then these are some Booper artisans. This one's painted by a guy from Australia named Keypress Graphics who used to paint keycaps. Well, it's commissioned by somebody else, but I eventually got a hold of the piece. 0.1%? I don't think that's accurate. My collection is not like, it's not like colossal. It's big, but it's not colossal. That's crazy. For foam, I'm not sure if you're gonna use all of it. I typically prefer not to use foam. We might try just using the case foam. But we can try using the plate foam and the P foam as well if you guys really want. But I personally think it tends to make the sound of boards really uniform. So I prefer not to use it until it's necessary. Let's get this board. It looks silver to me. It's endless. There's undefined size. Hello, what switches? Yihyung Oppa asks, what switches would you recommend on the Kohaku 65 as well as the plate? Alu plate or carbon fiber plate? Yeah, both of those are nice. If you're going for carbon fiber, I personally really like MX Brown's on carbon fiber. And on Alu, I do like MX Blacks personally. But you can't go wrong with like some other Gateron switches. I mean, some people like their long pull switches, which is a fine recommendation too. I do tend to prefer full travel switches like Gateron switches, like Gateron Milky Yellows or like Cherry Mix Blacks and the new Nixies or things like that are my preference. But yeah, there's other switches out there. Like there's like those like haze switches from Key Spencer that also have full travel that kind of sound like they are kind of like long pull. I mean, I think creams technically do that too. But yeah, I personally would just do like MX Blacks or something like that, but or like GAT switches, like GAT X, GAT Milky Yellows, GAT Yellows with Milky Tops is what I mean. But I think other people might differ on that. Yeah, some people prefer like what BCPs and that kind of stuff. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, the B-Sound switches are nice. I've heard really good stuff about the B-Sound switches lately. Like I've heard they're very consistent and the housing's like really nice and tight, and like you don't need like films and that kind of stuff, or that the factory lube application is pretty decent. So you could go with B-Sound stuff, and I'm sure it's going to be pretty good too. I've picked up a TA90 Nord kit. Holy shit, that's rare. Hope everyone's Christmas is just as nice. Damn, congrats on the Nord kit. That's a super rare kit, probably. Lim F. Diego's Argent collection does not exist. Alright, so it looks like we got some silver here. I think this is the original like silver colorway. So let's just open this up. I heard HMX is the new hype switch. I mean, hey, I just published a video on these HMX macchiatos on the F1 8X V2. It sounded really nice. So yeah, maybe they are the new hype switch now. Whew, okay, so it looks like we got some shiny. I'm assuming this is maybe PVD stainless steel. Ooh, wow, super reflective. It says platinum, star platinum. Just kidding. Percent PT990 over there. Nice silver case. Very pretty. We can put the bump-ons on now, I guess. What does it look like from the back with that weight exposed? Oh, good question. Let me see. Let's check it out. Give me just put the bump-ons on and then y'all answer your question. Oh, this is an interesting way to do the bump-ons. So you see how these little circles are kind of smaller than what this appears to be, but this actually has a little recess on there that just allows that small circular part that sticks out from the bump-on to stick to, but the actual bump-on is a little bit wider than that. It's kind of nice. So the bump-on actually will stay in place like this too. Pretty cool. Who is the handsome person they have in that weight design? Cannot be engraved. Too handsome. Just kidding. Not at all. You mean this pleb who looks like he didn't go out all day and has just been rotting at home. Hardly working. Working hard or hardly working? Probably hardly working. Homing bump-ons, yeah. Alright, so whoever was asking about what it looked like from the back, it looks like this. Come on, focus. You can ignore the little cable over there. Not going out just means you don't have sun damage, skin smooth, clear, and blemish free. Oh, so it looks like internally we have this kind of cool looking card design looking thing, little accent over there. It says percent and platinum. You can take a close look if you want. Little fun details, but I mean it's mostly just flare here. And then there's our cable. The JST is sort of like a ribbon cable. With a JST connector soldered onto it, which is kind of interesting. I'd argue any more rare than any Nord kit that barely made them. Okay, yeah, that's true, I guess. I mean, I remember I ordered the 9009 R3 Nord kit, and I was like one of like 2 people who ordered it. Oh, it was a WOB Nord kit. That's right. I was one of 2 people who ordered it from North America. And I know who exactly the other person was. That was pretty funny. Because it was like we were like the only 2 people who would have ordered it, you know. Hi, have you tried Diamond Avalon switches? I have not. I've seen them at I think I saw them at a meetup. They're all right, but I can't tell you if they're good or not because I don't have any boards of mine built with it. And at meetups, it kind of gets loud. It's not, you can't really get too much out of it. What's the weight of the? Oh, the actual weight of the board. I can check. I can get my scale. This board would look good with WOB. Doesn't work like that. Silver and WOB is a bad combination, IMO, but I mean, sorry, it's not a bad combo. It's not an optimal combo. There's just better combinations than silver and WOB. That's all. Avo just insists on it, you know? Okay, so how do I make you read this? Do I put the side view here? Oh yeah, you can sort of see it. Okay, there, zeroed out. Put the board. So that's 1.91 kilograms, which in Freedom units is 4 pounds and 3 ounces for the weight of the board, whoever was asking. So that's what the board weighs without being built at all. It's 4 pounds, 3 ounces, almost 2 kilos. Built is probably a little bit more than that. Right. Silver and fundamentals. Ooh, that's a good combo. Mason with the tier 1. Where's my alert sounds? Oh, there. There we have it. It was paused for some reason. How many keyboards have I built assembled so far? I have 30 keyboards, so yes, a chance to encounter defect. I remember this is a good pasta. Oh, there's all my my alerts were muted for whatever reason, or paused rather. So I unpaused them and now they're catching up. Thanks for the re-up though, Mason. Appreciate it. Alright, I think I need to test this PCB, so I'm gonna open this up. Is it me or this board is a bit too round? It's just the aesthetic of the board. Some boards have a rounder aesthetic than others. We're gonna be using DCS, I feel it. Could be. Could use DCS, yeah. It's possible. I mean, there's no denying the fact that silver and beige are definitely a boring combo, so to speak. I mean, that's true. Here's a top piece. The top piece definitely has a bit of a rounder shape, as Rienfeld said. Could be like a massive cell phone. Hello? Cool. Okay, so it just has space for those tabs to sort of just, you know, push against. And the rest is pretty standard. It just has these two little screws here to hold the little badge piece that just has platinum on it. And the bottom piece is rather interesting with these beryllium copper leaf spring tabs. So these guys sort of are just like screwed on and are slightly bent to sort of like have a bit of like that trampoline action going. It's pretty interesting. First time I see it myself in person. I know that they implemented it for some other stuff, but yeah. And let's see. I kind of do want to take out the daughter board, to be quite honest. I guess I'll just do that and yeah, unscrew the weight as well. Any CRP you want, purely despite true. Oh. Okay, there it is. So just carefully remove that. Okay, interesting way to do the ribbon. It's a ribbon cable, but I don't know why not just use regular wires. But just because ribbon cables have they're just easier to break. I'm personally not a huge fan of that, but it is what it is. Part of that design. This is what this looks like, though. Like once you take off the weight, it just has 4 little screws that hold this little badge piece there. Other than that, these 2 little screws hold the brass badge piece over there, which appears to also be raw. It doesn't look coated, clear coated, because it's tarnishing slightly. And this is a machined steel weight, obviously. Alright, so let's test the PCB just to make sure it's good to go. All my homies hate Drua. Oh boy. No shot. Yeah. Huh. So this is just kind of let me see. Not a huge fan of this, to be quite honest. It seems a little bit sensitive to. tight spot with this JST, to be quite frank. Just a little tight spot here. Just gonna force it though. I'm just scared it's gonna break. Okay, cool. It's just a really tight spot. Hot swap socket in the way. Could have been put a little bit out of the way, but it is how they did this. Okay. I like your TKL build. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, it's a little warm. I'll take off my sweater. So let's grab a switch just to test things out. And let's double check here. On VIA? I don't know. Doesn't look like it. Okay, I'll just test it with regular switch hitter. Doesn't look like there's any issues, but had I opened this before the stream, I probably would have tested it out right away, but since I did unpack it, I have to make sure everything works. Vent key. How you doing, Mr. Lightning Sir? Hello, Zuabi. Doing great. How are you? Just busy these days, but hang in there. You know, end of year crunch things. Other than that, it's been kind of busy but slow. You know, like I've been pretty relatively unproductive lately, but trying to do my best to get my end of year stuff done properly so that I don't have to be catching up afterwards. I don't have to test all of it. skip a few things here and there. Space bar. This all works. If these are working, then I don't think I need to test the rest. Okay, cool. I'll just leave it at that. I think it's working fine. Plug it. Not a fan of this cable situation here. It's a little finicky. Yeah, so the default is a flex cut hot swap PCB, but I was sent out a hot swap non-flex cut PCB. So we have a non-flex cut PCB today, specifically. Yeah. So today I have a non-flex cut PCB for the build. Okay, so that's that. Now that that's tested out, just make sure that goes through. Problem. Let's get pinched by anything and put back the screws. Who thought that FlexCut made the board feel bouncy? I mean, that baffles me that we have different preferences based on region. Does the Eastern market really like FlexCuts that much? Yeah, I mean, I think it might be a mix of liking FlexCuts plus maybe like combining it with the foam, because the foam will offset some of that extra bounciness, but it will still give you that, you know, thocky foam based sound that people are, you know, are trying to get a lot of the time, right? So maybe it's that, it's a combination of that, right? I'm assuming. I don't honestly know, but I'm assuming it's a combination of the two that people are going for, not just one or the other, right? Okay. So PCB testing is done. Board is, put the board aside, and we can go ahead and do stabs. Like, some Chinese designers are even disgusted by the trend. Huh. I see, so it's more of a adjusting for demand sort of thing. Yeah, I see. So I'm gonna need 4 stabs. I say we all move to Iceland and make a new preference if it's possible. Just goes to show that preference or just to mean most just follow the trend. I mean, yeah, a lot of people do follow trends, so yeah. Not too surprising, right? Alright. Let's just break in these stabs a little bit. Took the filter off for a sec. Was your mirror in your storage unit? I mean, I don't have like an active storage unit now, but I mean, when I was moving, yeah. But since moving, it's been here. I just rotate through boards differently, so yeah, I just haven't taken it out in a while though to use. That's definitely the case. I just haven't used it in a bit, so I was just talking to people and I was like, oh, the mirror, it's... I think someone was mentioning about how the mirror has a pretty tall front height, right? And I was like, oh yeah, I have a mirror and haven't used it in a bit, so I kind of felt like using it today. Do you just finger the stab? I'm just doing this, like I'm just unclipping and reclipping the wire so that the clip part of the plastic loosens up a little. Because if you leave it alone for a TXAP stab, it feels very, the rotation is a bit gets caught by the friction, so it's a little too grippy. I prefer to have like somewhat free rotation if it's left alone stock. But I mean, I do end up lubing it anyway, so that goes away, that free rotation part. But it's better than having it too tight on the wire, so. Stab breaking machine when? No need. It doesn't take that much. Like, it doesn't take longer than like an extra 5 minutes or not even, so. It's not that big of a deal. Some people actually don't even bother with this and they're fine, so. It's kind of like optional, pretty much. The mirror lunar gray color is so hot. Oh, that one was nice. All the colors for the mirror were actually pretty good. The blue one, the pink one, the red one, I think there was silver, and I think there was gray. Oh, I think there was also black actually. I remember seeing some black mirrors. Earlier this week I was thinking about I was just like organizing stuff, and I have a bunch of stuff that I have around that I don't use as much, and so I was thinking of doing like a giveaway focus, like charity sort of stream. So it's kind of like a subathon, but the proceeds are gonna just go towards the shipping of the items and towards a charity of choice. And so I was thinking of doing that sometime before Christmas. I know that it's a kind of rough time to do it in the sense that it's a bit short notice, in the sense that a lot of people are kind of spent from spending for family, gifts over the holidays, right? But I figured that it would be good to put that kind of effort towards like people who need it, you know, like people who are out there hungry or, you know, need clothing, you know, whatever it might be. But I think at least in the spirit of the holidays, you know, we are all very privileged, but hopefully, you know, we can maybe like give out some stuff, people can enjoy some new things, and we can put some of the proceeds towards like a charity. But yeah, I was thinking of doing something like that. What charity? I've been thinking about it a bit. I was thinking something like Give Well or Give Directly is probably fine, because they tend to allocate donation money towards high impact charity work. So in the case of Give Directly, like they have like some of the campaign, like some of the bigger campaigns, so like against malaria foundations, a big one that Give Well I think recommends at their top. But for like Give Directly, I think they address a lot of like hunger, or for example, like if they put their money into like the Helen Keller International Fund, I think that one addresses vitamin A deficiency in places that need it the most, especially for children. Things like that. But I would say it would be nice to see the funds to go into something that's more high impact. Not just like, I mean, local is fine too. Like I could always do like food banks. People like have suggested like libraries, things like that, right? Like Friends of Library stuff. But I'm also kind of like keen on the idea of like more global stuff. Like it doesn't have to be here in the US. So. Spend right now 30 minutes to fix leaf ticking on just a few switches. Oh yeah, what do you do? But yeah, I think something like that would be nice. And so I've been gathering up a bunch of items, like some key sets, a bunch of key sets, a bunch of keyboards. Like the keyboards aren't perfect for some of them. Like some of them are like proto units, so they have like small defects or like things like that. But I figure if it's basically free, so it'll be to good use. But yeah, I'm hoping to do that in a few days before Christmas, before actual Christmas. So hopefully people can tune in and we can build a few of my own boards. Actually, I have a few boards that I haven't built, so I was thinking of maybe building a few boards for myself, and yeah, we can put that work productively towards doing some giveaways, having fun, and helping other people out there. All right, cool. Those stabs are broken in. Just need to now loop them. Give away a clack giggle. Stuff I don't use, Rianfo. I do use my clacks. Akshay mod the leaves? What was that again? Oh yeah, it was like lubing the leaf a ton, right? I remember. Hear me out, leaves. What? So much work, dude. Leaf swapping? Some of them won't even come out easily. So what if you're like, then you have to have like extra switches too, in case a bunch of the leaves are not good. That sounds ultra painful. That sounds worse than trying to keep the dust out of your switches, Drua. I don't know what you're on, bro. I did it once with MX switches that had solder on them and it still came out fine. How long did it take is the real question. And how many switches? How long did it take you and how many switches? We gotta know the ratio. 8 hours for 90! Just for the leaves. Sorry, just for the leaves being swapped. Just for the leaves being swapped. Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way you're gonna tell someone to swap leaves for switches for 8 hours so that they finish 1 batch for a TKL. This is before the lubing, before the spring swap. Oh, sorry. Also, don't forget, Drua's take is way worse than this, okay? It gets worse. If you think this is bad, it gets worse. Drua doesn't like touching springs with lube on them because he is so scared of oil from the lube, and so he has to pick them out by with tweezers one by one. So imagine swapping out 90 springs out of these switches, okay? Lubing your springs with whatever. And then you need to grab each individual fucking spring with tweezers. Gotta be careful. If you get it on your hands, my life is ruined. And then gotta make sure that no lube goes close to the top of the switch, because if dust gets on top of the switch, God forbid, dude, the build is ruined. Keyboard useless. Listen, Drua. Can you listen? Like can you see how obnoxious this can all be? 8 hours for leaf swapping 90 switches, for 90 switches to be good. And then you spend another few hours lubing. And by few I probably mean more than 4 or 5, and then you spend another few hours for the springs. Oh, and don't forget about this. Don't forget about the switch films. Gotta get those switch films perfectly centered. And if they're not, gotta reopen it, put it right back at the spot where it perfectly, the top perfectly hides the switch film between the two pieces being sandwiched. And then you gotta make sure no dust gets on it. Woo! And then don't forget, once you put the switch into the board, okay, into the plate and the PCB, oh God forbid, those solder joints. Woo! Gotta use that nail polish remover or whatever it was. Basically acetone to make sure that every single solder joint is perfectly right. Perfect, okay? Perfectly. Conical or shiny, whatever it is. Also, no speck of any kind of imperfection on the PCB, because if any splatter occurs, man, the universe will explode. So this is Drua's method. And he has explained it in such intricate detail. Rich, intricate detail. And we know how painstaking effort he puts into his builds, which I get it. It's great. Dedication. But suggest that to somebody, dude? No way, bro. No way. You can't suggest this to someone. No sane person will do it. If you could quantify the amount of work, like man hours to dollar conversion, you put into the switch, oh God, man, these switches would be the most expensive in the entire world. Nixies for $5-6 a pop. Neon green Alps for $10 a pop. Bro. So yeah, if you wanna make sure your switches are worth a ton of money, you know what to do. More expensive than the Holy Pandas, yeah. Yes, that's correct. The Holy Pandas that I didn't even bring it to somebody, okay? They brought themselves to me, okay? And I was like, I'm not gonna use them. Here, have them. At the price that you suggested. I was like, okay. I was like, all right, here's my PayPal, buddy. Oh, actually back then it was invoice, so he was like, what's your PayPal? Oh, and ironically, you just perfectly described my building process. Of course. You know how many times you've talked about it? We all know. We all know. Maybe at least once. Yeah, just maybe. Maybe just once. It was once and I perfectly knew it. I knew exactly what you were talking about. And I knew all the details. Say no more. Might as well just source a pour full of MX locks. Are MX locks still that expensive now? By the way? I actually don't know. Don't recall them being... I mean, maybe they are super inflated still, I actually don't know. But I thought they're not as rare as people thought. Pretty sure, I don't know if I have any actually. I don't think I do anymore because I don't really care for them. But... Diego wrote out Drew's build process in his journal. Assuming I even have a journal. Hoping my C7? What's that C7? Oh, cycle 7 I assume? You do you with the one life you have. Respect though. The dedication is truly impressive. Anyway, so whoever was asking about the leave ticking, or we're talking about their leave ticking, now we know. Now you know. Now you understand what kind of preposterous suggestion it is to say that one should swap leaves for 8 hours for a batch of TKL switches. I relapsed and played a game of League of Legends recently. Oh boy. How did it go? I don't think I've played League of Legends in ages now. Which, to be honest, is kind of nice. Don't really care for it too much. Felt like ass. I felt grimy after it. Damn. Oh man. I'm sorry. I guess also it's not like the chances of you winning or doing well are high by playing one round. So I kinda get it. One of those games. Not very satisfying to play. Look, I walked a mile in the Australian outback mud, then rolled around in a pig pen. Shit and everything. Oh my gosh. It's a very vivid description there. So in my defense, I can justify dumping that many hours into one batch of switches because I literally only have 2 keyboards. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you doing it for yourself. That's totally fine. But also, what happens? What are the chances that even when you start doing that, you actually end up with a good enough badge to work with, assuming that you're very particular about it? I think that's what I would be worried about. Like, let's say you do all this swapping and all that stuff, and what if like all the leaves just aren't, like, it's not sufficient? I feel like the chances seem high for that. At that point, you do have to settle, but the whole process seems like it's to, like, the point of the whole process seems like it's to not settle for imperfection. So it makes me wonder. What stabs? These are TX stabs, TXAP. If you need the packaging, here it is. Okay. Hypothetically, if I want to actually get into leaf swapping, oh boy. Hypothetically asking for a friend. Oh yeah. Do we need to use these shims? Oh, these shims seem kind of easier to use. Okay. Wrong, but I'm not sure yet. Let's go try here. The second stab piece is a little bit. It's a little finicky, actually. We'll get some different ones. I should have some different ones. Oops. Franken switching can be fun. Yeah, I think Franken switching is fine. The only problem I have with Franken switching is sometimes the rate of like bad switches can sometimes be kind of high. Like switches that don't like actuate like consistently and things like that, you know? Which actually kind of applies to like those like BCPs and similar. Mainly for sound reasons. Fair, I guess. So the reason I'm using these other shims, for those who might be wondering, is that so these shims do work, but I think they would work better for non-clip-ins. And the reason for that is because the second, like, you know how like there's like a bigger hole and a smaller one for these shims, or like for pretty much any stab, like for like a PCB, for example. The smaller one is kind of a little bit too small on this clear one that comes in the box, and it's also not rigid enough, so it's a little harder to like manipulate to fit, and so I opted to use these FR4 ones that I have from Heine, I think. And these ones are working fine because they're rigid enough, and the dimensions of the holes for the stabs are sufficient as well. They're pretty much spec'd like the PCBs are, so usually can't go wrong with that. Okay, there it is. That's done. So let's go ahead and put the, I think there should be standoffs here too. I'll use them. Are there positions for the standoffs, though, is my question. Assuming it's this here. Where's the plate? Plate will tell us where. There's one here, one here, one here, one here. Okay. So You used to spending weeks painting model kits? Oh, I see. One of those people. Some people are just very detail oriented, so I get it. Can't be done until it's perfect, you know? I get that. Should I tell them about the R59 lubing method and then touching up on the contact points with grease? Oh my god. Mixing grease and R59 in the same switch sounds like such a pain in the ass. For those who don't know what R59 is, it's basically a diluted formula of PTFE of concentrated PTFE that basically is a curing agent. So it like it's lubrication by curing. So basically like you coat a layer, you know, in this case plastic, right, with the solution, and the solution dries up and cures and forms a thin layer of the PTFE lubricant that you're applying. And it basically dries up, right? Like it's like a dry, smooth layer of material, of the binding agent, and then yeah. So that's how people like dry lube things, but yeah, suggesting that you do that and also have grease application is quite a bit of work, to be quite honest. So yeah, you get that kind of like stock sound. But lubed smoothness, yeah. Oh yeah, some people will do, so other methods of application is some people will mix, like, for example, will mix like isopropyl alcohol with PTFE powder. Yeah, people will do that and apply it, and then they'll like, people will do that like in Alps, for example. Even long enough for this? These screws are actually long enough for this. That's funny. Are these actually long enough? I'm not sure, I can't tell. These are so small. Okay. Let's try. Okay, these work better. R59 is good. I use it a ton on my toper boards. Oh, interesting. I mean, I guess that does preserve the stock feel of Topre. Try out a few switches so I can test the stabs. Bake in my oven to cure it so I can do multiple coats. Yeah, I did that when I tried RO59 before. Put it in an oven at low temp. Worked fine. A little bit faster for the curing process. Time to find me some of the R59. Are you North America based? Because if you are, I believe doesn't Ringer Keys I think sell them. They're based in Boston, I think. That would be probably where you can get some. There'll be a funny social and you need to get some free samples of both the KT variant and the 4XO variant from Axel and failed miserably. Nice. Nice try. Teeny bit of lube on the left side. Okay, that's good. This side as well. Okay, good. Okay, so that's pretty good. What keycaps are those? These are just assorted keycaps from different sets that I have extras. This is GMK Deep Space, if you're wondering what the caps on the mirror are. What caps are you gonna use on the board you're building? Not sure yet. Someone suggested, I believe, Mason suggested CRP, which could be good. So some beige maybe, but could be anything. You gonna do poll? I think I'll default to Mason's suggestion because he did use his channel points for it. But if he changes his mind, then I can do something else. Gatexes do look good on this plate. This plate seems to be more of like an E-coat from what I can tell. The texture seems like a coat, or like a powder coat of sorts, like E-coat or powder coat of sorts. It feels a little bit more textured and has like a flatter, sort of slightly textured color to it. Kind of like less reflective. So I'm guessing might be coated for the plate. It's still aluminum from what it seems, but yeah, the plate actually looks really good with the Gatex. Although the board itself is all ano plus PVD steel from what it looks like. Alright. Has it snowed in New York yet? No, not really. It's gotten colder, but it hasn't really snowed here. It's been kind of warm. Where are you located, Harry? Like whereabouts? Just kind of to get a kind of a context of where you're comparing to. But yeah, it's been kind of like a wishy-washy sort of winter. Kind of been going up and down a lot. So yeah. I'm in Omaha. Oh, I see. We've seen only a little snow. Yeah, no, it's definitely been kind of warm. Oh, what's this? Extra Prius, please, with the 23. Damn, almost 2 years. Sheesh. Can't stay, but want to say hi. I hope you have a great holiday. Oh man, you're the legend. Happy holidays to you too, man. Take it easy. Hope you have a good one. Alright, let's just mount this up. So let me see. So how do these go? So I believe you're just supposed to put the little, so let me show you guys how this works. So for these guys, these are the little like gasket nubs, and I think you're just supposed to put the donut sort of like around the top portion here. So we'll just put it like that. And then you end up with the little nub facing down, and that part is the part that goes onto the little tabs on each of the leaf springs. So we're just gonna do that for all of them. They're pretty soft, so I'm expecting this to be pretty flexible, like up and down. But the tabs are metallic and they do seem to resist a decent bit of force. So you probably have to press kind of hard to see the movement. Alright, cool. And then, I assume I gotta put JST on first. Stays on there. So if we finagle it a little bit. There we go. Okay. And then gotta mount it on top of these tabs. Are those X stock lubed? Lubed. So now gotta line up these tabs here. doing here is I'm just pressing down on the tab and then pulling it so that it basically gets attached. So you end up with something like that. If I show it on the regular camera here, that's sort of how it looks like. Kind of sits on top of these springs, which is a rather interesting way of assembling this. Yeah, it just kind of floats atop of this. So it's like a trampoline in a way. It looks like these came off a little bit. Just gonna make sure all of them are lined up properly. Okay, looks like they're all good. A little finicky though. Yeah, definitely a little bit finicky. Because they are, the little gasket thingies are pretty small. Soft. So just gotta make sure it doesn't shift too much once it's in. So there we go. Okay, those are all good. Okay, then just put the top over the bottom piece. That. Actually, you know, maybe this one. Okay. Oof. Okay. Let's get the case pieces together. Okay, it's done. A little dirty. Maybe touching it earlier. Just get the bump on, just move the wheel. Okay, cool, all done. So let's go ahead and figure out the key set on this. Mr. Mason did suggest some CRP. I'm not sure if Mason's still around, but if Mason is, we can put them on. If not, we can put something else. Looks like Mason's not around actually, but we can put CRP if you want. Let me know if you have any suggestions. In the meantime, let me check this here. +1 for CRP? Okay. Cool. We can do CRP. Beige good, keep CRP. Alright, sounds good. Let me see what CRP to try For this board, I'm thinking, what would be nice? Maybe just standard ANSI, or maybe some standard ANSI with like mint Dolch mods, or maybe like Russian, like Cyrillic with like orange Cyrillic legends. Could be kind of cool. Obviously there's like APL and Arabic and those tulip. Have you checked out the black on gray CRP set from round 5? Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, that one's nice, but I mean the round 5 hasn't shipped. I mean, or the most recent round 6, 5. That one hasn't shipped yet. So. Okay, I'll go get a set. I think I might try the orange Russian set, or I don't know. Maybe go get some CRP and let's try it out. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm also gonna go probably wash my hands.
Special.
Okay, I'm back with some of this CRP. I got the orange Cyrillic set today. You order CRP R4 from Syrup Labs? No, if I recall, R4 I got it from Prototypist when I got it. I got mine from Prototypist. CRP was the first Keyset GB that delivered to me? Oh, cool. Huh. Fitment of the backspace feels a little loose. Okay, I need some tape on this. Peacock Red Zurich on Tulip. Oh, nice choices. Pretty solid. Kind of classic now, I feel, because they've also repeated those a lot, like every round. Every other round? Every round? Something like that. Pretty often. Kupo, are you up to anything fun for the holidays? Doing anything fun? Taking a break, hopefully. Oh, missed a switch there. We used to doing 7U that I forgot about this one. these aside, but we might be good with hunting artisans for the rest. But I don't know. We might just do 2. What are these keycaps? Black with orange. This is it's Hammer CRP Cyrillic orange Cyrillic from the CRP key sets. CRP Cyrillic orange or orange Cyrillic, however you wanna see it. But yeah, it's very classic beige. So okay. Beige. Maybe I'll just do 2 caps. I don't know. Thinking Keepy kind of goes well with the orange, so maybe I'll do that. And then we can do some extra beige on here. Sorta. Orange, maybe we can do another orange cap. We can do this Fugu, old school. Fugu. And any Desco color? Oh, well, I mean, this already has the orange, so I think has plenty, you know? I feel like maybe I'll do this ice cream guy. And maybe this. I don't know. Maybe this Pora. Yeah, it's a nice color scheme. It's like pretty underrated, I feel. We don't see it that often. It's definitely orange is just in general kind of underrated, I feel. Okay. There we have it. Look at that. Looks nice. Okay, so we can try this out. We can put up a typing thing, which I don't know why it's not showing up. Weird. Oh, OP is updated, huh? Oh, that might be why. It's my macro thingy is not working, so. Does it work here? Oh, it works here in this scene. Okay. Let's see. Scene. All right. Sweet. Okay. Cool. So there is CRP mounted. All right, we can try this out. Let me adjust the mic and we'll give it a shot. All right. So let's turn off the music and let's check that we're good here. Oh, looks like the ads just hit, so I'm gonna wait until people come back and we can go from there. Oh, wait. Okay, just gonna wait for people to come back from ads, and then we can try typing on this. Yeah. All right, ads are done. Let's give this a try. All right, here we go. So this is Gatex switches on an aluminum plate. Right now we have no foam at all. Yeah, we'll give it a shot. Maybe we need foam, maybe it is a bit resonant. But yeah, no foam at all, and currently mounted with that beryllium copper leaf spring mount that they have. And this is with CRP R4 orange Cyrillic keycaps and Gatex switches for the build. All right, let's go. It sure sounds like a keyboard. Yeah, it actually sounds pretty nice. Yeah. So let's check the mods here. Here are the mods. A little bit of a resonance on the top row. So it does have a decent bit of give to this. Like you can see the whole assembly really move up and down there. But in typing, in regular typing, it's actually not so bad. Like the moving is not very apparent. It's only like gonna move if you really just press hard on the whole thing. So yeah, actually, it sounds kind of like a high pitched, kind of clackier sort of sound to it. So I actually do like the sound profile. Kind of would go well with like cherry mix switches, Gaterons, things like that tend to have a higher pitch kind of sound to them, especially if you loop them kind of on the lighter side. Also would probably sound pretty good with like long pulse if you really like a louder kind of sound. Might be a little bit too loud for some people, but this is like currently no foam at all. I guess you could dampen a little bit of that sound with a little bit of dampening, like foam or otherwise. But yeah, it does have like a pretty bright sound signature to it. So if you're looking for like a board like this that has a bright sound signature, this is pretty good. The The top row does have a little bit of resonance, so maybe adding the case foam could help. Or like if you do like, I don't know, like the force brake mod, right, that people often recommend when you see like hollowness specifically towards the edges, it could help as well. But that's kind of like up to you whether you want to do or not. But I actually do like it here with the no flex cut PCB. I don't know what it would be like with the flex cut PCB, but I would imagine it would be a lot more flexible and a little bit quieter actually. So I actually think I prefer having a no flex cut PCB as usual, but that's like my general preference. The backspace doesn't sound too great for some reason. I think it's a little bit loose, the keycap. So yeah. Okay, if anybody's got any questions or anything, feel free to ask. But yeah, that's pretty much what the build sounds like. Yeah, it does have a pretty classic sound to it. As far as the look, we can take a closer look here. So I'll unplug this. So it definitely has a very like much rounder sort of look compared to a lot of boards out there. I think the more rectangular and sharp corner look is much more common. This kind of reminds me a little bit more of the, what's that? It was like the Space 65 sort of board, or maybe like I think like the Hibiki from Hibi is a bit on the rounder side as well. So it definitely has a bit of that like rounder look. Yeah, Cat 65, that's like currently new and ongoing for pre-orders, right? Yeah, so definitely on the rounder side for the look. The side profile is kind of interesting. I actually do like this kind of like bevel here on the side. Looks nice. A little bit different, I would say. Like that's what the side profile here looks like, right? It definitely looks interesting. It definitely looks a little bit different from other boards out there. The weight is going to peak on the back side here. So if you, like if I just turn this around, the way the weight here is done, it sort of does evoke a little bit of that like island look, where basically the board looks like it's floating on top of a middle piece here that's sort of like more centered in the board. And there is just a little bit of curvature to sort of like kind of like draw that illusion from, you know, looking from behind from the port area. But if you like flip the board over, you can actually see that it's completely flat for the weight. That said, this is like PVD steel. It is like a mirror, so it'll smudge pretty easily. This is brass over here. The looks with the screws and the bump-ons, that's just pretty standard. Nothing noteworthy, I would say. Centered USB, right? But yeah, I mean, I think this could look also pretty good with non-PVD, something like sandblast. It could look kind of nice with it. Although I do think that maybe the way they did the engraving here with the lines is probably so that it's more noticeable with the PVD, or like with this kind of like mirror treatment. But there are other options for weight treatment, so that's something that you can always explore through to buy. It is a board that costs like $400+ pre-shipping, and so it's definitely not on the cheaper side. I actually do wish that for a board of that price, it did have a, it's nice to have a non-flex cut PCB and a flex cut PCB, but also that it also had the option of 7U for the hot swap, because it's doable. People are doing hot swap with 7U, and you know, step caps, like regular caps, is already there, and like split backspace for the people who like split backspace on 65s, right? I feel like those options could have been already added to the PCB, but it wasn't, and so it kind of just makes me wonder why. Like, why was it priced that way and we still get those options out? And so I do think that would have been kind of a nice addition. Like, if you can't do it 625, then it's, you know, it's not for you right now. Maybe they'll add an option for a PCB with 7U later on, but that's just like a compatibility thing that you probably have to worry about. If that's something of your concern, especially like with the look, like you might not like the look of 625. Some people like 7U for that reason. I do. But yeah, I mean, I can work fine with 65 though. Like, it looks okay, but I do prefer the look of 7U on this because I end up not really using more than the one key on the right side of the spacebar. Like, if this key is FN for me, or like the right alt, this is fine. This is more than enough. I don't need 2 on the right side of the spacebar, so I prefer 7U. I also prefer how the 7U looks as a spacebar relative to the row right above it. So yeah, just a nicer look in my opinion. A little bit cleaner for me. But yeah, as far as the board itself is concerned though, like the typing feel is actually kind of nice. It's the metal structure of the leaf springs does give it a good amount of rigidity to the typing. Like, it actually does, you don't see any kind of like extraneous movement here, like vibration, sort of like when you have those, like, you know, flex cut plus and gasket mount like assemblies. Those tend to be very bouncy, very like uneven, like kind of like the vibrations going everywhere. Here it's a lot more stable, and I do think it's because those leaf springs are made out of this copper material. And so like when you're typing, actually, like the vibrations aren't like going haywire everywhere on the board. You can actually kind of feel them a little bit more isolated to where you're typing, like to where the row is. So it still has a bit of softness to the bottoming out itself, and yet you don't have a little bit of like excessive movement across the board. So that part is nice. And then I think the rigidity kind of adds to the sound, and it gives you a little bit like this high pitch sort of like sound profile, sound signature to it. So yeah, with these PVT caps, actually it sounds pretty good. Actually, it sounds pretty good with the CRP here. Obviously here, like, silver is kind of like the ideal case for the beige look, but it looks pretty good in my opinion. Yeah. And so I can kind of go over the top-down look here. That's what it looks like here from the top down. So you can see a bit of the curvature sort of kind of shows everywhere on the board, right? And then from the side profile, like, side profile is definitely more interesting. It definitely has, I don't know, it's definitely a little bit different from a lot of other boards that pretty much just tend to usually have just a flat edge here. So, or it's more like a shelf where it just kind of extends and then cuts here and then down into the underside of the board. So that part is a little bit different. And then here the bottom side is just like flat like this, with the weight sort of like being isolated here towards the back as it extends further, sort of like a foot on the back side of the board. And so the aesthetic of the board is definitely a bit unique. They definitely went a bit more minimal compared to some of the other options that they've offered in the past. But yeah, side bezels being kind of thick here. Personally, not my preference, but I do think it works out for the rounder look of the board. So this actually ends up looking fine. It does kind of, if you put it like vertical, it does kind of look like an extended phone or something like that, or maybe like a Nintendo Switch sort of size. Anyway, yeah, so it definitely is a bit round for the look. But I mean, if you're into that look, this actually looks pretty good. Gatos keycaps, yeah. This is Orange Cyrillic from CRP. Looks pretty good. I really like them. Yeah, actually CRP sounds pretty good on this. So it was a good suggestion as far as like the material of the caps actually complements the sound of the board pretty well. I'm round, is that anyone into that look? I'm sure. I am into your look. Right? No? Never mind. Anyway, that's pretty much all I got for this particular board though. As far as like thoughts and yeah, I mean, I do think 7U would have been nice for the PCB compat. look-wise is not particularly my thing. I do prefer more rectangular edge boards. But the round look is very clean here nonetheless. Like the aesthetic is pretty clean. And even with CRP, the skirt of the caps does kind of sit a little bit higher, but I do think it's because those leaf springs are pushing it a little bit more. But the spacebar here is sitting properly down. But I mean, I think that with this being hot swap and those leaf springs pushing up a little, the CRP does look to be a little bit tall. Like this top edge could have been slightly taller to really cover the skirt of the caps, but it's not terrible. It's actually not, like, the gap is not very apparent. Thank you for stream. Looking forward to what you come up with for the charity thing. Yeah. So yeah, I am thinking of doing a stream before Christmas. For an event where I'll be just doing giveaways. I mean, I'm just gonna be building a few boards of mine, you know. We're just gonna hang out like normal, like a regular stream. The only difference is gonna be that I'll be giving away stuff during the course of the stream. And pretty much whatever funds are raised, I want to put them towards the shipping of the stuff that's being given away, and then everything else will go into a charity. And in the case of what charity, like I'm leaning strongly towards like Give Directly or Give Well, which tend to pick pretty high impact organizations for the kind of work, like for charity work and like nonprofit work that people do. And I think like that way, like, you know, every dollar kind of counts a little bit more out there. And it doesn't go to things like operational costs and things like that. So yeah, I'm hoping to make something out of that, and also, you know, it'll be a good way for me to, you know, clear out a bunch of the stuff that I have around here that I think other people could use better. Yeah, so we'll have some of that happen hopefully before Christmas. I'm thinking maybe I'm thinking probably like let me see here, it's the 20th today, so yeah, maybe on Friday I might do this. I know it's a little bit short notice, but I definitely want to try to pack it in before Christmas. I will be busy after that, so probably better to just do it before Christmas. And yeah, hopefully people can come by and hang out, and if you obviously feel generous to contribute, feel free to do that. But yeah, probably go with something like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and conclude here almost. I'm just gonna check who might be streaming. Exclamation day job. I do research. I'm a graduate student, and I'm like on my last leg of that, so hopefully done within soon TM. That's pretty much what I do. Patty started not too long ago. Okay, we can rate Patty. She is building the Paw 75. I see Kim is also streaming. I see the Manic Geek, whom we tried to raid that last time, is also streaming. I see Mr. Jordan playing some Tarkov, it seems like. And Kisar, who is Minterly's rebrand, Kisa, is currently doing a long stream event with giveaways and goals and things like that, if you want to check that out too. But yeah, otherwise we can go raid whomever. I guess from Eric's suggestion, we can go raid Patty this time. Ionis Remus, the room looks different from last year. Do you move? Yes, I did. I did move compared to last year. Yeah, I moved this past year, so that's why it looks different. Moved in with my partner, so different space. All right, let's go raid Patty. It's been a minute. I mean, I saw her a few weeks ago, but it's always nice to raid fellow keyboard folks. Let's go show some support. Happy holiday. Happy holidays. I don't have a cat emote, unfortunately. There's our raid message, just quick and easy. But yeah, I'll see you guys probably this Friday for that charity giveaway stream. I'll be prepping a bunch of stuff over the next few days, and hopefully, yeah, we'll do a bunch of hours just to do a few builds and see whatever we can raise during that time. Hopefully, I'm not trying to overdo it on the stream. Like, it won't be like a caps subathon kind of thing, but just do a few things I gotta do in that time. Hopefully, raise some funds and give some stuff away and go from there. So yeah, I'll be wrapping it up here. I'll see you guys later. Take it easy. Have a good rest of your week, and if you are traveling, safe travels, and happy holidays to you all. But if not, I'll see you guys on the weekend. See you guys later. Bye bye.